That is so cool.
Oh, Aberdeen.
Oh, Aberdeen, you've been calling me, calling me.
Yes, Sir Hairless here. We are back today with Avi Kaplan, and this is his song called Aberdeen. It's a slightly different one today because I have heard this song when I went to see him perform live around half a year ago. I've not listened to it since then because I knew I would be doing a video on it one day. It was in a previous poll, narrowly missing out on first place, but in the last poll we did, this was the winner of which Avi reaction to do next. When I saw it live, I didn't know the song at the time, but he started playing, he said the word Aberdeen multiple times, so I assume it's the same one. From what I remember, and I'm surprised I remember this actually because there was a lot of new, really good music to take in, but the chorus, it's really catchy, and that's really what I remember off the top of my head. I don't really remember the verses, not the lyrics, and speaking of them, here they are on the screen now. This is the very first frame of the video. Looks really cool, so without further ado, let's get straight into it.
There is a place that I used to go, given its name by the buffalo, filled me up and eased my pain. Washed my soul without the rain. Oh, Aberdeen, you've been calling me, calling me to make my way back home, to that cool summer breeze and those old evergreens, the only place to rest my weary. Soon I will go free.
All right, from the lyrics we saw in the intro, we're about halfway already. It's times like this where I don't regret not listening to it, but I just love this song. It's kind of coming back to me now. I kind of wish I had been listening to this for the past 6 months or so. The things I do for you, for Sir Hairless, to make sure my first time reactions are first time, this one being a slight exception. Lovely song. Lovely song. I want to carry on to the end, but there are some things I'd like to point out. So we're going to do our pause here, go over what we've heard. If you don't want to hear my thoughts or analysis, go to the timestamp. It's so refreshing and nice, and for me, music's very nostalgic, and hearing this has just triggered this sensation in my body, this feeling that I was there watching him live and hearing Avi live. If you've not seen him live or experienced or felt it, should I say, it's really astounding because his voice, it's so unique, and the songs as well, they're written in such a way where it's almost like a spiritual experience. Oh, I should have worn the shirt that I bought. I'll be right back. Let me go grab it. All right, I've just grabbed it. I hope you can see that. You know what? Let's put it on top of this to show some support for Avi. It wouldn't fit on top, but I am now wearing it. Right, where was I? Yeah, so seeing him live, it was incredible. Here's a little snippet I managed to get. I won't show much. The quality isn't great. If you want to see a bit more of that concert and my experience, you can find my behind the scenes video in the description below. It's directly on YouTube. But it's amazing. We can see how identical he sounds live.
Oh, Aberdeen, you've been calling me.
I personally love artists who sound the same live as they do in their studio versions. It's just a natural sign of authenticity. Generally speaking, there are some exceptions, but this has got me curious because many people have told me there's an alternate version of this song, which is considerably different, and that intrigues me. So we will watch that one as well after this version. I've not watched it yet, but by the time I'm editing this, I will have. So here's a clip to give you an idea. So if you want to see my reaction to that version as well, head on over to the link in the pinned comment down below over on Patreon. That's where the full video with both reactions will be. As I said, very cool video. Very scenic. I mean, look at the snowy mountains in the background, desert in the foreground, just Avi lying down, then he stands up. And based on the lyrics as well, which we saw in the introduction, I need to ask you something because I'm not so sure after seeing these. Aberdeen, I assumed, was in Scotland, and that's the city he's singing about, but I know there are many, many places in the US and in the UK which share names. So is he singing about Scotland or is it somewhere else in America? That's my question to you. We open with a simple guitar chord, and the strumming pattern in and of itself is actually providing a sort of percussive element. Chun chun, cha 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 chun chun. And that's a nice C minor chord. But then we get these kind of wind sounds coming in, which start off, which would be creating this dissonance, a suspension amongst this chord, a real clash, and then it just becomes a bit more dissonant. The notes become a bit unclear.
There is a place that I used to go.
And then the nostalgic purity of Avi's voice comes in, not particularly low. Second line, the same melody, but slight melodic adjustments for some variety.
Given its name by the buffalo.
Simple, just guitar strumming. We have some ambient sounds, but no chord changes at all. Just one chord so far. The first change we get.
Filled me up and eased my pain.
And now we have already heard all three chords that we've heard so far up until I paused. I think it might be the same for the whole song. Can't remember, we'll hear in the second half. But those three chords are these. So the root notes go here. But if we voice those chords close together, so the root note isn't always at the bottom, so we have minimal movement, this is what we'd get. So as we can see, they work really naturally, really nicely. That clapping sound coming in, providing another layer of percussion because we don't have your standard drum set in this. Cha-cha, cha-cha-cha in the guitar versus the da-da-da-da-da-da-da with the claps. There's a lot of urgency in the sound, even though it's a calm song. I think that's one thing that I just really enjoyed about it. And then when we get to the chorus, with the bass line now coming in, dum, dum, acting as a cadence, showing us that something big is coming.
Oh, Aberdeen, you've been calling me to make my way back home.
Multi-layered vocal harmony, I assume all Avi. Oh, Aberdeen, the melody. Oh, Aberdeen, just above it. Oh, Aberdeen, and then at the top. Oh, Aberdeen, you know. Oh, Aberdeen. Nothing crazy. 3 parts moving up together. Really, really nice though. I think he's done such a good job of creating this nostalgic sound, and nostalgia will be independent to people and, well, different really between everyone. But I feel nostalgic, and I've never been to Aberdeen in Scotland or anywhere else. But it's cool. It's just a cool song. You just want to... This is why I was saying I was a bit annoyed that maybe I haven't been listening to this for the past 6 months. It's worth the wait though, definitely worth the wait.
Calling me to make my way back home.
And I like the melodic arc as well. The chorus, oh Aberdeen, it starts off with moving up, and then here, calling me to make my way back home, falling back down. Overall, quite simple, nothing crazy, nothing snazzy in there. And there is this almost constant, very subtle dissonance just in the ambient sounds we're hearing in the background, whose pitches, whose notes are subtle, but they are causing dissonances. All right, let's carry on for the second half. We got real deep bass coming in just before I paused, and a new strumming pattern or instrument, can't really remember. Let's see. There's the bass.
Soon I will go and free my heart.
Nice bass pedal as well.
to that sage and stone beneath the stars. Clear my mind and float my soul to lay down all my sorrows. Oh, Aberdeen, you've been calling me
Goosebumps.
to make my way back home to that cool summer breeze and those old evergreens, the only place to rest my weary bones.
That is cool. That is cool. That is so cool. When I saw Avi as part of Pentatonics, you know, young man bass, I would not expect him to be horse riding through the desert with these mountains in the background. Nothing for miles. So cool. And the whistling, now his whistling, from what I saw at his show, it is kind of one of his staples. He's such a nice whistle. I'll put a clip of him whistling in another song here. Lovely outro to the song, and what I personally love about the video, because I think naturally I tend to focus more on music, it's just the way my DNA is. When there's a really overly stimulating video, sensory overload, so much going on visually, I might miss it or miss some of the music because my brain doesn't know which to focus on. This video is just cool, simple, cool, scenic. You don't get anything like this where I'm from, so I just think it's beautiful. And all the layers coming in now. It sounds calm and simple, but I assure you there are many, many layers here, many different instruments we're hearing, building up slowly and subtly throughout the whole song. The beat is as simple as it can be, really, just every other strong beat. What sounds like a mandolin. As the whistles come in harmony. Oh, really nice. All right, let's go back to from where we carried on.
Soon I will go and free my heart to that sage and stone.
This song makes me want to go back in time. And maybe it's because I was watching a cowboy film just the other day, but it makes me want to go and become a cowboy, but only the romanticized idea of it, just riding around on a horse like that with this music playing as my kind of soundtrack of life. What a lovely line in I'm going to call it a mandolin. It's almost like two different lines. You have the lower part and then the upper part, which is just in octaves above. And then when you put them together, and then the rapid strumming. And one thing I really like about this song, I think it's quite clear by now for anyone who's seen my Avi and or Pentatonics videos, I really love Avi. I really, really rate him. I love his voice, his timbre. It's so distinct. Many people, such as myself, would have had exposure to him through being this basso profundo of pentatonics. And some of my first reactions to him, you can find all my previous Avi reactions in the playlist up here. He was really making the most of this deep voice of his. He doesn't do that in this song, and I think it works really well. I think it's a great decision to have the song in his higher register. I guess it depends on the song, but for me, I think this is much more calming in this context. I do receive a lot of comments from people saying that the lower singing, you know, you can really feel it and it gives you a physical sensation rather than just a listening experience. But I think higher up for this works.
To that cool summer breeze and those old.
So cool, the video as well. We really feel like we're going on a journey here. I don't really have too much more to say about the music. We didn't get any new chords, so it's 3 chords. Those 3 chords I showed earlier throughout the whole song. The structure, verse, chorus, and then the outro bit with the whistling. Instrumentally, many layers, but it doesn't sound like it. We're not being overloaded with new musical ideas, motifs. I think this is a really well-written, well-designed, impactful song, and the video 1000% complements it. So now let's go and listen to the alternate version. I'm really intrigued because I did ask people who recommended it, how alternate is it? Is it like a live performance? And many of them have said, no, it's actually very different. So I have that here. Let's watch that now. If you do want to come and watch that with me, head on over to the link below in the pinned comment. And if not, thank you very much for watching. Comment down below other songs by Avi you'd like me to do in the future. Would really appreciate a like and a share. Subscribe if you haven't. You can support me by donating me a hot chocolate at the Buy Me a Coffee linked below, or you can join the Patreon linked on the screen to get access to exclusive content not on YouTube. And I will see you next time.